All right, Larry Kruger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Check out Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Go say hi to Damon and Mary, get some brisket. Tell them that Krug sent you. Well, the 49ers fall to 5-1, and today was a disastrous game. 19-17. The Browns get the win. The number one defense held Kyle Shanahan's offense to 17 points. And at the end of the day, just too much adversity. Just too much adversity. Dre Greenlaw didn't play in this game. Christian McCaffrey went out with an injury. Deebo Samuel was a non-factor. He went out with an injury. Brock Purdy did not play particularly well, 12 of 27 for 125 yards, one touchdown, one pick. He was sacked 3 times. The Browns ran it effectively, 34 carries for 4.7 yards per carry. Amari Cooper had huge catches in this thing, 4 catches for 108 yards and some absolute monster catches. But ultimately, there was also came down to the officials' calls at the end and some really, really bad calls. I mean, the play that I'll think of over and over again was 3rd and 10 from the 26. PJ Walker threw incomplete on a little slant route, and Tayshaun Gibson had just a beautiful hit, perfectly timed, perfectly placed right there on the shoulder pads, and it was viewed as a helmet-to-helmet personal foul, unnecessary roughness, and that kept the drive alive. And then later on the same drive, Walker went to Cooper. Burks had a near sack on the play. Niners Mooney Ward was called for a phantom hold. It was not a hold, and that obviously helped the drive continue as well. Dustin Hopkins connected from 29 yards out to make it 19-17. So the Niners got the ball back with one timeout with 1:40 to play. Purdy went to Jennings on the first play. It was almost picked. It was incomplete on 2nd and 10. He threw incomplete on a one-on-one Ayuk against Denzel Ward, overthrew him. So on 3rd and 10, he went to Jennings, and Cleveland finally got called for the penalty there on the PI. Terrible hold by Martin Emerson. So the drive continued. Then Purdy went to Ayuk on first and 10. Then he went to Jennings, and ultimately he found Ayuk for a nice little 8-yard slant on 2nd and 10 to make it 3rd and 2. And then ultimately Jake Moody comes on at 3rd and 7 from the 23-yard line. So it was a 41-yard field goal, and he missed it. He missed it a couple feet to the right. He's a rookie kicker, a lot of pressure, and he just pushed it a slightly right, and there you go. The Niners first lost in the last 16 games. They lose 19-17. There'll be a lot of talk about this one, and people will blame who they want to blame. And all I've got to say on this one is it just was a lot of adversity to overcome. A lot of adversity in this game. You had no Greenlaw. He might be one of your best defensive players. You lose Deebo early. That hurts. Then you lose McCaffrey in the game. That hurt. Then Purdy did not play particularly well. Mix in some rain, and that hurt. Ayuk had 10 targets on the day. He only caught 4 balls. He had 3 clear drops. That hurt. And then, of course, the penalties. The penalty on Gibson was just a horrendous call. I mean, just a horrendous call. Probably cost the Niners the game, to be totally honest. Just a really, really bad call. The hold on Ward, a really, really bad call. Just a lot of adversity. And then at the end there, the 49ers had 1st and 10 from the 26, and they got real conservative. They ran Mason on a 3-yard run. And on 2nd and 7, instead of, continuing to attack, they still had 15, 20 seconds left. They just downed it, and they took a chance on Moody from 41 yards out. I wanted to see Moody kick it from like 25, to 30 in that range. To me, the percentages go way, way up. Instead, they opted for the 41-yard field goal, and he missed it slightly to the right, and the Browns get the win, 19-17. So we're going to do a full post-game show on the Krug Show on YouTube. Kev will be along. Baller, JD. I was supposed to hop on with Damon on his show at the 2-minute warning, but hell, if I was going to jump over there at the 2-minute warning after the way this game was going. Nice game for Randy Gregory. The Browns did a really good job at negating Nick Bosa. Trent Williams went down in this game for a while. He eventually came back. Dalvin Tomlinson had a phenomenal game for them, even though he only had one tackle. He made a constant pressure. And the Browns, the Browns only had 2 sacks of Purdy. They only had 6 hits on the quarterback all day. But and the 49ers, had 2 sacks on their own right. Bosa, could have had a scoop on a fumble that also was a really bad call, where they called it an incomplete pass when he was being sacked by Oliver, and it was clearly a fumble. I mean, if that is a pass, that's the most pathetic pass of all time. The guy was sacked. He was going to the ground. He kind of slightly pushed it off of his hand to the right. It was a clear fumble, and Bosa scooped it. Would have been an easy score right there, and that call went against the Niners. So just a rough day. Deommodore Lenoir had a phenomenal pick. Fred Warner had a nice interception. But at the end of the day, just too much Browns. Too much adversity. Too much adversity to overcome. You couldn't overcome all the things that happened in this game, and the Niners take their first loss of the year. 19-17, they lose this game. And, there'll be people that will say, Purdy played terrible. And he did. He didn't play good in this game for sure. So it's not a strong performance. 12 of 27, 125 yards. But to me, it's a combination of the injuries, the missed field goal, the bad penalties, the drop passes, really all. You win as a team, you lose as a team. This one's not on Jake Moody. The play calling could have been more aggressive there down the stretch. There's all kinds of things to second guess when you lose. And Moody missed 2 field goals. He missed 2 in this game. So, Moody's got to take some blame for sure. Purdy's got to take some blame for sure. George Kittle was a non-factor in this game. Did Kittle have anything? I think Kittle had 1 catch for 1 yard. So with no CMC and no Debo, they really badly needed Kittle to step up or Ray to step up. And they just weren't there. They just didn't step up. Ray had 1 catch for 4 yards. Kittle had 1 catch for 1 yard. So the Browns have a tremendous defense. They put a lot of heat on Purdy for sure. Credit Cooper with some amazing plays. Credit P.J. Walker with some amazing plays. I thought Kareem Hunt played a real role in this game. He had 47 yards rushing and a touchdown. He had 24 yards receiving. He was good. David Njoku, who was 50-50 whether he was going to play in this game, he played. He made 3 catches for 24 yards. Jerome Ford had 1 22-yard run when it mattered most for the Browns. That helped after the penalty to get him down. And P.J. Walker made just enough plays. He didn't throw a touchdown. He threw 2 picks, was sacked a couple times, 18 of 34 for 192. But he did just enough to win. He did just enough to win. The Browns did just enough to win, and they get the win. Join us on the Krug Show for the postgame. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Go Niners, but today, not their best performance as they fall to 5-1. And thanks for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.